We know that there are many children with autism who has difficulty in speaking, and still there are some who are older now and still have difficulty in speaking and expressing their needs and wants. I know that my son, for instance, couldn't communicate much at all, age 3 and 4. So a lot of things would be frustrating for him because he couldn't express his needs and wants. A lot of the things we say, he would just repeat words. And I'll take that as a way in which he wanted to communicate some things, but just don't know how to. So all what's in his mind set is just to repeat what we say. And because he couldn't express his needs and wants, I had to deal with a lot of behavior outbursts daily. So I know I had to find a solution for all of this, and I wanted to encourage others who is going through the same situation on how it can be done. If your child can repeat the words in which you say, then you can use that same techniques to teach them words that they can use to communicate. If your child is nonverbal, what works for them best is a book of pics where they can use pictures to identify what they want or need and point at pictures as well as to know what it is they want to communicate. As for my son, who would repeat words, as they call it, echolalia, the main thing I know I had to be teaching him was how to ask for things, what things are, and how to respond. So, an example would be like whenever he would want things, and I usually know what his favorites are. For example, like grapes and cereal. I'll have two items out when he wanted things, and I would show him which one do you want, and I'll push forward cereal for him to identify the cereal. Next, I'll push forward or grapes for him to identify the grapes. And he will usually reach for the one he wants. When I know it's the cereal he wanted, I'll be like, cereal. And he will repeat cereal. And I'll give him the cereal. I'll keep this going constant with him, also with other items as well. And once I kept it going, he eventually came to a point where he started saying these items on his own. I know he also couldn't mention me as mom or even his dad as dad before. So I know whenever he would want my love and attention, I would identify myself as mom and point at myself, where he would repeat mom. And the same goes for dad. Always identifying dad, pointing at dad and saying dad, where he repeats dad. And this was also constant until it came to a point where this all connects with him and he started to identify us as mom and dad. I also find that by constantly telling him the things I do in the house when he's around me, and even going out to places like the parks and stores and naming certain items, objects, or by what people are doing helped. Even help him to identify his toys and what he used them for. Also, reading a lot of stories to him that are of his interests and using first sight words, such as these ones here that I got from Amazon, pointing to him the sun in this picture so he can identify the sun. Same thing with the bike, and same for the fish. Using these kind of sight words and pictures helped him to identify what things are. All these things helped in the process of learning the language and speech he developed over time. Now there's a lot of things he can say on his own and express his needs and wants in full sentence. My word of encouragement for those going through the same situation that I went through as well is to stay constant with all these techniques. Keep prayer and faith in mind to pray for your child, and that over time things will develop and it will help.